So should you rent or should you buy a house in 2021? Today I'm going to be talking about all of the pros of renting versus buying a home. So make sure you stick around because some of those you probably haven't even thought about like at all. Hi, and thank you so much for watching today. If you're new to me and my channel, I'm Vicki Bryant, and I'm a local realtor here in Newnan, Georgia, and I love helping people buy and sell real estate in Coweta and Fayette County. So if you're looking to purchase or maybe place your home on the market and you're in Coweta or Fayette, reach out to me. All of my contact information is in the description box below, and I would be more than happy to help you out. So today we're talking about whether it's better to buy or rent. The everlasting question, to be or not to be, rent or buy. What should you do? Well, let's discuss the pros of renting a home. So in this episode, I'm going to be focusing on all of the pros associated with renting your home because very few people talk about those. And honestly, as a real estate agent, I'm probably out of my mind, but I really don't care. And I'm going to tell you why. Because all of the clients I work with, I would rather see them happy and living their lives and all of their dreams with their family in their home the way they want it, in their terms, rather than seeing them struggle to keep up with mortgage payments a couple of years down the line and being forced to sell their home because they're realizing that they're house poor or they can't afford it. That, to me, is the most important thing, and that's all there is to it. So let's go ahead and dive right into all of the pros associated with renting a home. And for those of you who are renters, hopefully you'll feel a little bit better about where you are in the process. And hopefully I will give you some pointers and kind of open up your mind to a few things that you haven't really considered so far. So when you are ready to pursue home ownership, you're better prepared to do it the right way. Pro number one, very little upfront cost. What do I mean by that? When you're actually renting, all that's required from you is to put a security deposit, and it's normally 1 month's worth of rent. You don't really need great credit, and you only have to have an income 3 times the amount of your rent to qualify. On average, and your security deposit is going to be returned back to you at the end of the lease, provided that you return the property in the condition that you took over. When you're getting ready to purchase a home, it's a different story. You have to be ready not just with your down payment, but also your closing costs. A lot of first-time home buyers are really not aware of this. They don't even know, some of them, what closing costs are. Well, those are costs that are associated with you obtaining the loan. And in our seller's market that we're experiencing currently, chances are likely that no seller will cover those for you. So you have to be prepared to cover both your down payment and your closing costs. And those are usually in the amount of thousands of dollars. Pro number two, a very obvious one, no maintenance and repair bills. So when you're renting, you don't really care about the maintenance and repairs associated with the place you live in. When something breaks, you pick up the phone and you call your landlord, and it's all fixed without out-of-pocket expenses for you. Whether it's a pipe bursting or a roof leaking or any appliances not working, like your water heater, for example, you pick up the phone and your landlord will either fix it or replace it for you. Not so when you're a homeowner. When you are a homeowner, all of that comes out of your pocket. I don't know if you've priced a water heater or a roof replacement, but you probably should look into those expenses just so you're aware of what's going on. Pro number three, lower insurance costs. A lot of first-time homebuyers, again, never even think about this. So when you're renting, all you're required to carry is a renter's insurance, and that's normally an insurance that will cover all of your belongings, like your furniture, your electronics, or your clothes or valuables or anything else that you possess will be covered. When you purchase a home, you're required to maintain a homeowner's insurance policy. This policy is actually not going to cover your personal belongings. It's only going to cover your home, your investment. Those are two different policies, and you need to further research what all is included in homeowners insurance policies and look into the coverage and what it actually protects your home from. The other difference would be the cost for those two. For Georgia, for example, the average renter's insurance is currently at around $300 a year. And the average homeowner's insurance policy is somewhere around $1,500 a year. Pro number 4, lower utility costs and free access to amenities. So what do I mean by that? When you're renting a place, you're normally renting a much smaller space that you share with everybody else who you're renting with, which equates to much lower utility bills that you have to pay. When you move from a small place to a bigger place, you have more square footage to heat or cool depending on the season. So you will see a difference in your utility bills as well. A lot of first-time home buyers do not consider this. And when they first move to their home, they're really shocked about the utility bills and how much higher they actually are. Then you have the amenities. I remember when I was living in an apartment complex, I had access to an in-ground pool, tennis courts, fitness centers, and all kinds of other amenities that were provided, and they were included in the rent, so I didn't have to pay extra for any of those. Well, when you purchase your home, you most likely would not have access to those amenities, or if you do, you will have to pay what's called HOA fees to your homeowners association because of the fact that you actually are using those amenities. So that will be an extra bill for you. Keep that in mind. Pro number 5, no real estate taxes. So obviously when you're renting, all you're paying is your monthly rent and that's it. You're not concerned about the property taxes at all. It's your landlord's responsibility to take care of those, and they do that. And you might argue that those are already included in your rent. That is true. But when those property taxes go up in the middle of your lease, you're not expected to cover the difference. You just pay your set monthly rate and that's it. Not so when you're a homeowner. When you are a homeowner and your property taxes go up, you are expected to cover those out of pocket. And if you're looking for your next home, it's very important to consider what are the property taxes looking like in the area that you want to purchase your home, because those differ from state to state and they also differ from county to county. For example, property taxes in Coweta County are much lower than they are in Fayette County, and it's just a neighboring county. So when you do pursue home ownership, make sure you research what the property taxes will be in the area you're interested in looking or moving to. Pro number 6, more flexibility on where to live. So when you're renting, you can afford to rent in a more urban or more suburban area, depending on what your preferences are. If you are a young individual and you want to be close to nightclubs and nightlife, you probably want to look at some more urban environment. Rents there will obviously be higher, but they're still much more affordable than buying a home there. When you're purchasing a home, you're going to be limited to the areas where you can actually afford to buy a home. So you might need to compromise or prioritize certain things for yourself in order to find that sweet spot between affordability and desire. Most people prefer to rent while they're young because of the flexibility of being able to move from one place to another without any upfront costs. And when I say one place to another, even one state to another with very little upfront costs. All you have to worry about is your moving expenses. When you're a homeowner, on the other hand, and you need to move because something happened in your life, whether you got relocated, you have a baby, so you need more space, or whatever other reason there is, then you have to consider a few other costs associated with moving, because you're gonna have to sell your home first, and that comes with its own costs and its own time frames that you have to consider. So these are the things that I wanted to point out to those of you who are currently renting, or for those of you who are thinking about becoming a homeowner. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it brought some value to you. And if it did, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because next week I'm going to be posting a video on the benefits of home ownership and all of the pros associated with owning a home. So if you don't want to miss that episode, make sure you subscribe. And if you have any questions at all whatsoever, drop them down in the comments. In the meantime, while you're waiting, check out some other videos I've linked down in the description box below that you might find useful. That's it from me today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.